Welcome back to the channel. Short video today. We're just going to be rearranging the switches here on the switch panel, the left side of the dash on my 2023 Nissan Pro4x. Just a simple install, just removing the dash, rearranging some buttons, switches. Should be fairly easy. Stay tuned. All right, for this, I'm not really going to call it an install, more of just a reorganizing switches. All you'll need is a Phillips head screwdriver. You're working into some tight spaces, so if you have a shorter one, that's also helpful. A tiny flathead screwdriver will help you with removing some of the clips to get the switches out. And then you're going to have to cut some electrical tape to help with some of the wiring, as some of it's not as long as it needs to be, and so having a knife, something to cut electrical tape will be very helpful. To remove this part of the dash, we are going to have to pull back some of this weather stripping. There's also a Phillips head screw there that we'll need to remove. And then I believe there's just some clips that we'll just need to pull out, and this whole bottom section will come off fairly easy. Okay, that one screw came out, and then there were just some tabs all along. You can see one here, a couple here, couple on the other side, and you'll just work your way around by pulling this weather stripping off and slowly pulling out those tabs, and then it rests down pretty nicely. Okay, you'll need the Phillips head screwdriver again, because notice that each row of switches has a screw there and then a screw there, and so to remove a row of switches, we'll just need to unscrew 2 screws at a time. And then I think what I'll do is actually unscrew all 3 rows and just have these dangling, so that I can easily punch out each of these buttons and move as I like. So there was actually 3 screws here, 2 on the side, and then 1 right here, kind of on the top end, keeping that row kind of stable there. It may help if you even undo this one, just because there's so many wires here, and it can be hard to maneuver with so many wires all stuck where they are. Okay, so I have all 3 rows undone, and then I unclipped the wiring from the very top row, the tow assist and the just some interior dome light things. So what I'm going to plan on doing is moving all the kind of off-roading buttons up here, moving the cargo lamp and the outlet to the next row, and then eventually my red arc towing control will go on the bottom, because I'll probably use that the least. Okay, so you will need to, I've got like a tiny flathead screwdriver here. I'm going to put my finger through the back here to apply some pressure forward, and then I'm going to use this to pry up that little lever, I would say. And then also on the bottom, you'll need to do the same. And that just pops out. And so that's going to be one of the blank spaces that I'll reuse somewhere else. Okay, so I have my top row clear of the 2 empty slots, and then the outlet here. And so again, all you're doing is just lifting up, adding some pressure on the top through the back, and then lifting up enough while pushing the whole module out, and it will all come out. So kind of have to lift the top and the bottom clips to push this out. And so now I'm going to work on removing these that I want, these 3 from the bottom rows, repeating those same steps and then moving them up to the top. I've seen on other posts that the wiring may not be able to reach up there, but it looks like just by cutting some of this electrical tape, you can extend the length of your wiring, so I'm hoping that will work for us. and all this will be pretty seamless. Okay, I have my bottom row ready. It's got a blank, and then I'll be installing a trailer brake here. My middle row is done. I just did the cargo lamp, kind of thinking electrical stuff here. And then my top row is blank. And I'm trying to decide how I want these placed. I've got my rear diff, locker, downhill assist, and my traction control. And I'm kind of looking at how the wires, the length of the wires I have are, and noticing that for me, the traction control has the longest of the three, and so I'm going to have that go the farthest away, which is going to be farthest to the right. Next, I'm going to have to use a little knife to cut the tape here. This was for the, I believe, the downhill assist. And so I'm just going to have to cut a little bit of that to make that length of the wire longer so that I can maybe put that in the middle. So popping these into place is really easy. All you do is just line it up where you want it to go, pop it in. And then plug your cables in. Okay, I've got all the buttons rearranged exactly how I want, and now I'm going to finish screwing in these rows with these silver screws, and then I'll show you reattaching the dash. Okay, and then once this dash is all snapped in, there's only one black screw in this whole thing, and it goes right up in here. All right, remember, after getting this dash back on, after rearranging all your switches, be sure to just run your finger over this weather stripping and make sure that it's snug in place, because we did have to remove it a little to take off this panel. Again, happy with the new setup, having these buttons closer by, and I'm not looking for a specific one way down here. And then I've got the things that I use fewer down here at the bottom, especially this red arc towing. Pretty simple, just a couple of screws and you're in there, and a couple of clips, and just make sure you have all the right tools to do the job, and you'll do this successfully without breaking anything. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment if this video was helpful. Any little bit helps. Till next time.